everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to talk about the things you need to know or what to expect if you're traveling to Guam during pandemic. This is not my first time traveling during pandemic. This is actually my second time. My first time was last year. I went to Florida to visit my relatives, and that was actually I was so nervous that time because that was a very long flight, and it was actually I had 3 flights just going there, and I was so inconvenient, and I wanted to show you guys, but I had problems with my camera that time, so I couldn't really show you anything. I have learned quite a few things during my travel, and I want to share with you guys, and I hope you can learn something from it. If you're interested, please keep on watching. The first thing you need is a valid passport, of course, and second is a confirmed plane ticket. So I would advise you guys to buy your plane tickets a few months before your travel date, because it's cheaper that way than buying it a few weeks before the travel date. As soon as you get the confirmation of your plane ticket, go to the website of your airline or ask your airline about the travel restrictions or the documents you need to fly out. It's very important because based on my experience last year when I was going to Orlando, Florida, I witnessed that this person failed to submit an important document and he was denied upon checking. So it's very important to be ready, and you have to if you have any questions or very confused about something, just ask your airline. Ask. There's nothing wrong with asking, and it's very important to be prepared than being denied upon checking, right? So because of COVID-19, I've been really apprehensive about these stuffs, and I'm just I want to make sure that everything is fine before I even go to the airport on my flight date. And the third one is the negative COVID-19 test. Like what I said earlier, it's very important to check the travel restrictions, and that includes if the country of your destination requires a negative COVID-19 test, and for how long is the validity of the COVID-19 test upon departure. It's very important to know that. Usually when you go to a hospital before you get tested, they would ask you about the validity of the COVID-19 test that you need, and also about your flight date and time, and they would tell you if the COVID-19 test result would lapse before you even depart. Also, if you have recovered from COVID-19 for the past 3 months, you have to present a documentation proving that you have recovered completely from COVID-19. And it's actually a positive viral test result and a letter from a healthcare provider or a public official stating that a passenger is clear for travel or have fully recovered from COVID-19. Also, if you're coming from the Philippines, you also need to know that the airport only accepts negative PCR test or negative COVID-19 test result from DOH accredited hospitals. I am going to put the link down below of the list of the DOH accredited hospitals, but you can also message NAIA directly on Facebook. It's also being responsible to get tested before you even travel, because just to make sure that you don't bring any disease or virus with you, and that's to protect the people of the country that you're going to or the place you're going to. The next thing you need to have is a tourist visa if you need it. So for me, I don't need a tourist visa because I'm a permanent resident of US, but if you need it, then you have to take care of the tourist visa if you're going to travel. The next one is a travel insurance. As far as I know, for tourist visa, you need to have a travel insurance upon checking. So for us permanent resident, and I guess US citizens as well, we don't need a travel insurance coming here in the United States or a territory of US. And for the other stuff that you would need are probably the hotel reservation and just online registration, and it depends on the travel restrictions of your airline, so you really have to check that. And you have to understand that because of COVID, the situation right now is fluid, and everything can change anytime, so it's your responsibility to check the requirements every time. Like before you even travel, you have to ask or do some research, so you wouldn't miss anything out. And also, it is required to bring your own mask and face shield, and also your hand sanitizer, um, before you even enter the airport. Is it convenient to travel this time? I wouldn't say yes. It affects a lot of things. First is the swab test, and I've already experienced swab test for 5 times, and it hurts every time. Um, Second is when you travel, you have to put your mask on all the time, your face shield, and you won't have the peace of mind because there's a lot of people around you, and you have to really keep a distance. You really have to sanitize all the time and or wash your hands all the time. Second is, or next is quarantine. So when you get here in Guam, as an incoming traveler, you are subject to 14 days quarantine, and you have to stay here in their quarantine facility, which is either Dusit Beach Resort Guam or Dusit Tani Resort Beach Resort, I think. So yeah, they're very nice hotels, and yeah, you won't really like. I don't have any complaints staying here. It's really nice here, and I can see the beautiful view of Tuman Bay. For everyone who's asking about how's the quarantine here, so you have to be in a mandatory quarantine. So the Department of Public Health and Social Services offers a free COVID-19 testing on the 6th day of your stay here in the quarantine facility, and within 24 hours you would have your COVID-19 test result, and if you're negative, you have the option to go to your residence or your rented lodging to spend your remaining 7 more days of quarantine, or you also have an option of not getting tested, but you have to stay here 14 days straight. Also, you have an option to get tested on the 6th day, and even if you're negative, if you don't have a residence or home here or rented lodging for that time, you can just stay here and spend the rest of your quarantine. That's all for today, and I hope you learned something from me. And if you have any comments about it, just don't hesitate to comment about anything. If I have like something that I need to improve at making videos, that's fine, because I'm a beginner and I accept anything, any suggestions. So thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys, and see you next time.